Joe Biden has now officially addressed the nation about his reasons for pulling out of this upcoming election in what was an emphatic and passionate speech, so I thought that we could look over a few of these clips while we discuss what this means for his legacy.
You know, in recent weeks, it's become clear to me that I need to unite my party in this critical endeavor. I believe my record as president, my leadership in the world, my vision for America's future, all merited a second term. But nothing can come in the way of saving our democracy. That includes personal ambition. So I've decided the best way forward is to pass the torch to a new generation. It's the best way to unite our nation. You know, there is a time and a place for long years of experience in public life. There's also a time and a place for new voices. Fresh voices, yes, younger voices. And that time and place is now.
I think this is put in a frankly amazing way. It really reads as patriotic, as genuine, and that's because that's exactly what it is. Republicans have scrambled every which way to try and craft a narrative about this, and none of it sticks because it's not real. It's not true. It's the leader of the Democratic Party doing what he sees best for the party that he sees best for the people of this country as we come to face one of the most monumental, historic, and just overall controversial elections that we will ever have in this country, where democracy really is at stake. As he says here, it's not that he thinks he's mentally unfit. It's not that he thinks that his record isn't good enough to match up against Trump. It's about uniting the party that was divided around him and the willingness he has to put his ego and control of power aside for the people and for the party. That is true patriotism. It's something the right would never get from their party. They would never get from their leader. And that's why they're still raging about the move and unable to craft any bit of a narrative about it.
We're in the grip of the worst pandemic in the century, the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. We came together as Americans. We got through it. We emerged stronger, more prosperous, and more secure. Today, we have the strongest economy in the world, creating nearly 16 million new jobs, a record. Wages are up. Inflation continues to come down. The racial wealth gap is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We're literally rebuilding our entire nation, urban, suburban, rural, and tribal communities. Manufacturing has come back to America. We're leading the world again in chips and science and innovation. We finally beat Big Pharma after all these years to lower the cost of prescription drugs for seniors. And I'm going to keep fighting to make sure we lower the cost for everyone, not just seniors.
Under Biden, we've seen GDP growth that blows the growth we saw under Trump out of the water. That is with COVID applied and without COVID applied. Wages that are grossly outpacing inflation while also dwarfing the growth that we saw under Trump. They are much higher and many more manufacturing jobs created, the exact kind of jobs we saw plummet under Trump. He sent us into a manufacturing recession even before COVID hit. The stock market is higher than it's ever been. Unemployment reached record lows. There's historic climate change investment. This is a presidential record that if we were not in this unique environment where narratives can create chaos, especially on social media, with media in general, to this degree, where liberals are also judged to a degree that MAGA never will be. Trump can do an insurrection and it doesn't hurt his credibility. Biden stutters and all of a sudden he has dementia. His record clearly was good enough for re-election, but I think the nobility, the sheer patriotism it takes, the selflessness it takes of knowing when to pass the torch to a fresh voice, a younger face, is the perfect move to seal his legacy as probably the best one-term president in history.
More people have health care today in America than ever before. And I signed one of the most significant laws helping millions of veterans and their families who are exposed to toxic materials. You know, most significant climate law ever in the history of the world. The first major gun safety law in 30 years. Today, the violent crime rate is at a 50-year low. We're also securing our border. Border crossings are lower today than when the previous administration left office. I've kept my commitment to appoint the first black woman to the Supreme Court of the United States of America. I also kept my commitment to have an administration that looks like America. and be a president for all Americans. That's what I've done.
President Biden has the most diverse cabinet of all time. He has the first black female vice president. He appointed the first black woman to the Supreme Court. When he ran, he said he would help make the government reflect what America looks like today. And to the best of his abilities, he actually did that. And just look at the vitriolic reaction we get from the right. This would never happen with them in power. They're just saying they're all DEI hires. They're all unqualified and were picked just because of their skin color. When diversity in and of itself is a qualification. Diversity of thought, diversity of experience, relatability to a group of people that others won't have. Those are qualifications that can help you carry out a job, especially when that job is serving the American people, who are one of the most diverse people in the world. And just because you're picking a person of color doesn't mean they're any less skilled or any less qualified. The right tries to use DEI hire as a slur, as if you're a DEI hire, you're less qualified, when really it just means that you were given the opportunity, one that had been taken from your kind regardless of their qualifications. And for standing for that, I applaud Biden.
America's an idea. An idea is stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant. It's the most powerful idea in the history of the world. That idea is that we hold these truths to be self-evident. We're all created equal, endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. We've never fully lived up to it, to this sacred idea, but we've never walked away from it either. And I do not believe the American people will walk away from it now. In just a few months, the American people will choose the course of America's future. I made my choice. I've made my views known. I would like to thank our great Vice President, Kamala Harris. She's experienced, she's tough, she's capable. She's been an incredible partner to me and a leader for our country.
This passing of the torch is one of the most history-defining moments of our generation, and I'm happy that Biden is the one to do it with his own recollection. You know, a year or so ago when I started my channel and the election race was just gearing up, I said in multiple videos that whichever party ditches their old guy first probably will be the party to win. And now Biden has allowed it to be us, and it wasn't the party that ditched him, but his choice to pass the torch in a truly patriotic, truly selfless move that the right doesn't know how to create a narrative around without showing how selfish that they are by comparison. If you enjoyed this video, we're Social Society. We're a commentary channel influenced by politics, society, and the economy. We are pretty left-leaning on this channel, but we're open to our right-wingers as well. The biggest thing here is having conversations that get everyone to the bottom of the truth. If that sounds like something that could interest you, consider smashing that subscribe button, leaving us a like, or even commenting on this video. We even have memberships available as low as $3 if you'd like to support, because the only way we become a society is together.